Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. It's been a bit. Tarkov is kind of quiet, so not a lot of news to go over. So I've taken the time to enjoy some other games like Arc Raiders and some more Arc Raiders, and definitely missing Arc Raiders. But back to Tarkov. We finally got an event that some of us have been asking for years. We also got some more Niki Leaks to go over. There's another arena task I'll update you guys on if you want some of the gun paints, and a few other little tidbits we'll go through. So let's not waste any more time and get you guys all caught up. Okay, so first things first, the most important tidbit of info that everybody wants is the event that's going on right now. For the foreseeable future, we'll be seeing a boss spawn event each weekend. It'll be pretty unceremonious, not a lot of extra stuff going on. It doesn't mean anything other than just the boss on a map is going to be 100%. This last weekend, it was Rashala. It's already over with. He was 100% spawn rate. And this comes from the Tarkov community site. Here's the post or the communication from BSG. And basically they said weekly boss spawns are now in effect, starting with Rashala, 100% boss spawn. This system will change in future wipes, and it's unknown at what stage point in the wipe it will be available. So they're obviously not going to start these right at the start of the wipe. In regards to hot loot rotation, which is also part of the original post up here, which is kind of like, make some maps higher end loot for them or whatever, they're still being considered. It's not implemented at this time. They wanted to clarify that it is only on the weekends. It's not for like the whole week, just the weekends. And that's that. So look forward to boss spawns. If you need to kill one, just keep an eye out on like Friday evening, Saturday morning. And then that boss might come up for you. Or if you're trying to do some of the other achievements or some other stuff that might have to do with that specific boss. Now on to Niki Leaks. The first one we got, nothing crazy here. There's a lot of motion capture stuff going on. So these little white balls are in their fancy suits. Just kind of how an easier way to get stuff into the game versus having to full on animate it. Some other things that show up in here. There's a map that's an arena map, more motion capture. The big thing to notice is coming up right here, and that's this. This is the big part of this. This is the therapist animation. This is part of that in-game traders thing that they've talked about for forever. That eventually we're going to interact with traders in-game. How that's going to pan out in 1.0, I don't know. I don't even hesitate to make a guess anymore. Is there going to be a dual system? Is this just going to be part of the 1.0 quest line, and then we go back to the current system we have now? I have no idea. But we will eventually have traders to interact with in raids, similar to how we do Lightkeeper, and in some ways the BTR driver. So that's pretty much all. Some more motion animation stuff here, and then some cutscenes from either future movies or stuff they're gonna do. The next Niki leak we will go over a little bit more interesting stuff in this one. A little bit more to talk about. More motion capture stuff, obviously. But this is a new target for the range and the hideout. My guess is it's going to be a reward either for an event or some future event or achievement, which we'll talk about those towards the end of the video. And so that's about it. This is the MK12, Mark 12. For those that aren't familiar with it, it is a simplified version of, I said simplified. An oversimplified way of explaining this is it's an M4 modified with all sorts of barrels and things like that to make it far more accurate than a standard M4. Various models of this were used by Army Special Forces, Rangers, Navy SEALs, and my beloved USMC a lot in Iraq and Afghanistan. So it'd be kind of cool to see this come into the game. It is 5.56. It will, if they keep to what it's supposed to be, it'll be semi-auto and fully automatic, both, though primarily used as a semi-automatic type DMR precision rifle. Going on from here, we have some stickers. More animations. I believe this is more stuff for terminal. I think this is the terminal map here. Hard to say exactly. More motion animation results. This here is really interesting. This is like a modernized RPD. I forget exactly what it's called. I went to go look it up and got distracted, didn't do it. But basically it's an RPD with more modern furniture and mechanics to it versus the very old version we have in the game right now. Again, more motion animation. This, I believe, has to do with an event. Not sure yet. This picture looks like something BSG puts together for events. When they launch events and stuff like that, though it could just be something in game or part of the background of a room somewhere, and it's somebody's face they put in, maybe kind of a Easter egg. We'll see, but I think it has to do with an event, so we might see this here towards the end of the month. More arena. I think this is that new arena map. And here we go. Here's full therapist. Animation galore for the trader. So be interesting to see how that is. And then back to the motion capture. Now, real quick, just because it's relevant to what we're talking about, I want to go back over the roadmap. We had the May roadmap hit. Nothing crazy there. Actually, let me open this up in another file so I can zoom in on it. And we'll look specifically at June of 2025. So this will be at the end of the month. We're going to see a reserve optimization, which went along with the Lighthouse, which I've heard great things from people. The Lighthouse runs so much better for them. So if that is something you've been struggling with, go check it out. See if it is working better for you. Anyways, reserve optimization, more of the cumulative fixes kind of stuff that we get, AI behavior adjustments, balancing changes and improvements. Actually, let me go back to the AI behavior adjustments because, again, real simple thing in May. But if you haven't noticed, AI is extremely better than it's been ever, I think, in Tarkov. As far as just random headshots, them trying to shoot you through bushes, the real immersion breaking stuff and unfair stuff, and just stuff that sucks about the AI, it has come a long ways in the last couple of months, especially since the beginning of the wipe. But there was a huge improvement in May. Again, if you've kind of taken a break, go check it out. This does apply to PvE as well. PvE, these AI changes are happening both in PvP and PvE. So balancing changes and improvements. Not sure what they're going to do there. Just other stuff they're going to change around. Summer weather season. So at the end of the month, we're going to go from spring to summer, which I think changes some of the gradients and thicknesses of foliage and coverage. It isn't a major change, but it will be a change in what we see. Audio engine improvements, forever and always probably. Obstacle processing algorithm improvements for better audio occlusion performance. Not even going to dive into that. We'll just see if it actually happens. Tarkov community stuff. This is some of the big Q quality of life things. Warning before starting a raid with a task item in inventory. If you're wondering what that means, is basically if you have a task item like a golden pocket watch or some of the things that you find in raid that are not actual loot, but they're like specific quest items that only you can see. If it's in here, you'll get a warning before you go into raid. I know a lot of people are like, oh, that's not hardcore. You should pay attention to what you're doing. The problem is this screen is so far removed from everything we look at. There's nothing on your character that indicates you have something on you you're not supposed to. So some kind of, even if it was a little tag here that said, hey, quest item is in your inventory, something to give you a heads up that you've got something there. We're going to get a little alert now. I'm guessing it's going to work something like when you turn off, you go to shut down the game and it says, hey, your hideout is still running. Like right here, I'm assuming it's going to be something along those lines. Stash auto sort improvements. I can't remember exactly what this is. We'll see. Just any kind of improvement like that's good. Ability to check in-game time in raid. I don't think this is going to be like our watches work. It might be. My guess is there's going to be something when you tap 00, it's going to give you the in-time game as well as the raid timer and other stuff, which is good. It's good that we're getting that information, but boy, is that box getting cluttered, especially if you're like a scav or you're on a map with a lot of transits. You hit 00 and a quarter of your screen is completely blocked off for that timer. So hopefully it's not too more intrusive than that. Reduced flashlight glare when wearing glasses. This is cool. It'll be an incentive to wear certain kinds of sunglasses because it'll reduce the impact of flashlights, which I think is a good thing. Auto purchase of missing currency when buying items. This has to do with if you run out of USD, you have to go buy it before you can buy again. Whereas if you try to buy something and you need USD, it'll give you an option to auto buy it from the trader to fill it out. Task sorting improvements. This is just the ability to sort your tasks more effectively and pin them. I hope that's what has this, your ability to basically pin a task at the top that you're working on, so you're not constantly looking for it. And then last but not least, highlight attachments available from traders when building a weapon. We saw a little bit of how this looks on the Tarkov TV. I'm going to be interested to see how it actually functions. So another positive for when you're building weapons and stuff like that. So that's upcoming. That's going to be by the end of the month. Hopefully we get another event, though nothing is promised in there. The next event isn't until July, but I'm hoping we get some kind of event or something to go on, get us through June, though maybe not. Other than that, that's pretty much it. We'll wrap her up there. Thank you guys for watching. As always, love having you guys around. Hope this was helpful. Hopefully got you guys caught up to date. If we get any more news, I'll make sure to post it. I think once Saturday or Friday rolls around, we know the boss. Unless there's something worth doing a video, I'll just throw up a community post on the YouTube so that you guys can see it. For those of you that aren't super plugged in on the Twitter. So that's all I got. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Lets YouTube know you want to see my content when it comes out, and it helps me a ton. So that's it. Wish you the best of luck in your raids, and we'll see you in Tarkov.